Greetings, mortars. It is the time of day. It is upon us. Be heard. Can you fear it? The music tingling the bottom of your spina. For it is time. If you have not gathered your chi, now is the time to do so. Oh, I detest sitting. I much prefer to stand, but alas, must just accept certain parameters to be what they are. It's a bit loud. Oh. Griffu, we'll be working on Truckle. Starter went out, and I am stranded. Oh shit. Griffu Bear is stranded. Desmondu. Oh, that sucks. God bless you, brother. Everybody, send Griffu your prayers. Hopefully he will not be stranded wrong. It is time for PEINTEINGU. 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 Painting you? Painting me? It's PEINTEINGU. Let's fucking go. Painting you. Painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. Let's fucking go. Yup. We have returned to the island of Narau. Again. We have an unfinished business on this island. A fridge, a pirate fridge, has besieged the island. And now, the local military has showed up, as they tend to do. But this time, they're a bit old-fashioned. A Spanish galleon. Carry-on? Like they just carry Garys? It's a carry-on. There's plenty of Garys on that ship. There's going to be plenty of goblins on it in a minute. Goblins! Not goblins. Goblins. Right. Just a random Irish flag. I mean, that's what you get when one of the things that comes out of the hat is just a pole. Like a pole? Just a pole? Fine, a pole. A flagpole. An Irish flagpole. Ireland has claimed ownership over the island of Narau. Ireland and Ireland sound too fucking similar. That's actually kind of annoying sometimes, you know? Welcome to Ireland! And it's like, if you're Japanese, it's like, welcome to Ireland? The place, your place of birth? The place that you call a nation is just called Ireland? Ireland! The land of ire, which I suppose it is sometimes. Painting goo 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 goo. Ooh, goo 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 goo. Oh, if you haven't gathered your chi by now, you have no honor. Yes, I know, Carlos. The monkey is a little bitch, but he's useful. You want to remind the people? You do. Excellent. Carlos, the former drug-dealing tiger, wants to remind you to Riker and subscriber, you cunter. Do not make me take the bucket and sunglasses off this tiger. You will regret it so. Antonio, welcome to PEINTEINGU. Are you well? How are you this fine Woden's day? Are you crushing? You must be crushing. The music has permeated my spina, for it is time for painting. We'll try and finish this bitch today, perhaps. We shall see. I think this is one of those days where I let that song just play all the way through. Actually, if I do it right, I could get the playlist to just, like, hammer away in the background. This thing's 15 minutes long. I don't need a 15-minute long intro. But I have one. Oh. Right. Methinks some random shit is needed. I mean, we have a Spanish galleon and we were talking about pirates and all. It would be a bit of a waste if I didn't put something like the Kraken or like some kind of huge thing. Yeah, crushing with a touch of hard ore. I know exactly how you feel. Pretty much all the time, I'm crushing. But I'm still a bit retarded. Right. Oh, the Bluetooth is still on my phone. How dare I? Need to consciously take more care of my phone after the bucket incident of a few streams ago. Right, let's get these bitches wet and do some painting goo. Some of the bitches fell behind the table yesterday. I had to recover them. They have been recovered. But I nearly forgot. Sitting here looking at my collection of bitches being like, I'm missing some bitches. Where have they gone? Ah, yes, they fell. My bitches fell. But they have been recovered. And they are no worse for the wear. Which is, of course, always satisfying to know that your bitches are well cared for. Which reminds me of today's phrase of the day. Meyanu o soketsu ni tamote hodasai. Which means, keep your bitches clean. At least that's what Google is telling me. Aichi froze freely from my brush. I too am an artist, but armed with a different kind of brush. And the bus is my canvas. How many times have you, like, sprayed into the side of the bus, like, please clean me, and then, like, waited for somebody to notice, and then cleaned the rest of it? Right. I still need to outline those handles, and I want to touch up that flamethrower, make it a bit more techie looking. I also want to do the same to the ice cannon. But I mentioned a Kraken now, so that's all on my fucking mind. That's all I have in my mind now. Get that bitch wet, beat the shit out of her, and then use your royal rag to dispense of all the evidence involved in the matter. Once more into the bucket. She's a bit dry and stiff, you know? Yeah. Okay. First off, these waves are looking a bit worse for wear. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting me. Painting you. Painting goo. Painting me. Painting you. It's painting you. Painting you. Painting me. It's painting goo. It's fucking goo. Ah, yes. That's why I leave this one on. Because this part makes me feel like I'm on a horse. If I ever do painting goo on a stage, I'm going to enter at this bit on a horse. Just like painting goo. Let's go. Painting goo. Let's fucking go. Painting you. Painting me. It's painting goo. Let's fucking go. Painting goo 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 goo. Bow bow. When I finally get my hands on a decent mic, I think the next thing is going to be I might even put it up on the stream if I can or something. I'll start a fucking a shamisen fund. Pretty good news actually. I checked my bank. Stabberoo, welcome, brother. Joe Paintingu. I checked my bank account this morning, right? And I managed through Paintingu because I sold one painting in the past couple of 2 weeks or something, and released another one, sold some fucking t-shirts and shit like that, and I managed to make enough money off of my own back in the past few weeks to pay for the internet and my service fees on my bank account. I got left with 5 cents. I literally made pretty much the exact amount required to just keep this thing going. To pay for the internet and to keep my bank account open. How funny is that? You know what I mean? That you've almost no legal choice other than to keep your money in a bank. But to do that, you need to pay them. But they take money off you anyway. Man, I fucking hate banks. That show, Poldark, I've been watching with the female, that'll make you hate banks. It shows exactly what the banking class are actually like. Welcome to Paintingu. Oh, what fun? A shamisen fund. A shamisen is what you're hearing. That's a Japanese guitar, basically. Oh! They fucking kick ass, man. They sound awesome. Bing, 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 bing. They're like a fucking Japanese banjo. But yeah, I was quite proud of myself. I managed to make just enough money to just keep all this shit going. So I'm going to keep going. But I'm not satisfied with these waves. Not yet. Oh, ha! Yeah! That is how you play music. With gusto. With an incredible amount of chi is how you should play music. Enristed! How dare you show up at my stream? Even though I do really like World War II shooters. Begone from me, Satan. Oh, it's been a while since I got to play a fucking... Again? How dare you interrupt my stream? I just want to play my music. It's been a minute since I got to play a fucking online multiplayer shooter thing, first-person shooter. They were quite my jam back in the day. When Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare came out, back in the early 2000s or whatever, man, I was so good at that shit. I wasn't I wasn't in like the top 5% or anything, but like I was well above average at that game. I had like just a stupid amount of hours on it, and I had a fucking stupid amount of headshots. Paint. For weapons, like even for weapons, paint that you shouldn't necessarily have a lot of headshots for. Paint. Paint wave. Big wave. Paintingu. Goo. Paint. Paint wave. Big wave. Big boat. Paintingu. Goo. Paintingu. Goo. Did I mention? I can't remember if I mentioned, but that little like tactical turtle drawing I did. I've spent the past few days just incrementally and intermittently like constructing an entire video game based around that idea. Like a third-person kind of Gears of War cover shooter where you all play as turtles with various abilities. I did mention this, didn't I? I think I did, yeah. But yeah, I want to make a tactical turtle t-shirt. It'd be fucking brilliant. NPE! Hurrow! Yeah, be right back. Is that Core Bear? Does that keep happening to Core Bear or something like? Or is that the elf? I can't remember. Aranjo, indeed. Sleepy House, welcome to Paintingu. Yes, paint, you're just in time. Don't forget the undead monkey on the mast. Is that what it looks like? An undead monkey? Or is that just what we're calling goblins now? This undead monkey. I kind of like a fucking... I haven't started like the little clay. Like I'm gonna do a little clay model of a monkey to go with the prop piano instead of the bear that I had for a while. And like I haven't gotten around to starting it yet because it's like, you know, trying to slide into my routine that I've already kind of established to just sit down for a few hours and mess with clay again, even though the last time I touched clay was like years ago. Paint. But it's gonna happen. Like I've said before, it may take me a fucking few weeks or even months sometimes to get around to a project, but I always get them done. Paint. So yeah, tactical turtle t-shirt. New symmetrical in the works. Loads of stuff. Fucking loads of stuff. And I want to buy a prop pro and give it a cigarette. That'll be hilarious. Paint. I've kind of developed this habit or style, I suppose you could call it as well, of I've really started to take advantage of the gouache on how like highly pigmented it is. And you can just paint whatever you want and whatever shape you want and keep it vague enough, like, and just let it dry and just like layer it in with different shades and tones and stuff, like, and just keep going back at it and making it more 3D looking. Like, I really like the fridge. The fridge is hilarious looking. Painting room. Where the wacky Aussie... I don't know where the elf is. He hasn't been... Where was it? He was here on Monday, I think. I don't know. I like he seems like the type of guy who might just randomly die. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but like it's like the other last time he was talking to him, he was like he weighs like 45 kilos. Like he doesn't look healthy at all. Like, or maybe he's just one of those like Aussies in the outback to like you just like like I've seen a few of those guys that are kind of like the Australian equivalent of like hillbillies or something like and I'm not calling him a hillbilly, but like I mean physically like he looks very unwell, and he has told us that like he was in a bad car crash and all this stuff. Like but like when I look at him, I'm just like, if he doesn't do something like soon, he's not going to last much longer. I hope he does. He brings a foreigner element to the stream. Probably. Yeah, it is Corbear. Yeah, 'tis I. Welcome to PEINTEINGU, Corbear. Yes, I will buy a tactical turtle t-shirt. I will hold you to that. It'll be a week or two before because I've only got one sketch done, and it was just a random sketch in the morning. I didn't plan this. Some of the best things aren't like you don't actually plan them; they just happen. But I put it up on Bertaria Times, and like somebody on Bertaria Times was like, "Oh, that'd make a cool logo or a t-shirt." And my mind just fucking ran with the idea. So I'm gonna do a series of. I might do a series of t-shirts, but the first t-shirt is going to be I'm going to do loads of turtles, loads of tactical turtles in like different poses with different guns and like doing different things. Like one throwing a grenade, one like hitting a plunger, and his mate is like covering his ears. One firing a rocket launcher, and one of them's going to be in a tank. Like one of them with a big LMG and shit. Like and I'll maybe do like 9 or like four by 4 would probably do it. So I'll do like 12 or something. Like was it 4 by 4 is 16, isn't it? So yeah, I'll do like 4 across, 4 down, and then it'll have tactical turtles on it. And then I'll do like cute, chunky font or some shit like that. So ballpark 2 weeks on that maybe before I get it up on spring, some shit like that. But yeah, I think that's going to be a cool t-shirt design. But I just can't stop thinking about how fucking awesome of a video game it would make. I just keep imagining these little turtles running around and like there's like the tactics involved in it would be that like when a turtle like gets in his shell, he's like bulletproof and explosion proof and all this stuff like, and there would just be like loads of game mechanics that were like revolve around the turtle shell being impenetrable to bullets and shit. Like I was imagining like you could be like running towards cover, but like you're not going to get to hard cover quick enough. So you just turn around 180 degrees and like everybody that shoots at you has like a chance of hurting themselves because their like bullets are ricocheting and rebounding off of your shell and shit. Like, and then I was thinking like, would there even be a need for hard cover or any cover in the map if all the turtles have like impenetrable shells? But I was thinking like, maybe you can only take so many hits to your shell before you get fucked up or some shit. So it's like the shell on your back is actually like temporary cover, and then like you eventually you lose your shell if you've taken too much shell damage, and now you need to start just using cover. So that could be a thing. Like it'd be like Gears of War but cartoon style and like with some extra mechanics thrown in. I think it'd be fucking deadly. Is Husopco in the chat? What's going on? In the UA chat? I have no idea. Could it be a tactical turtleneck instead? If Spring do turtlenecks, I'll do it like I'll put the designs on a turtleneck if Spring do turtlenecks, but that would be fucking hilarious. Oh, Desmond, you make me laugh, motherfucker. You're hilarious. The mugs I ordered should be here tomorrow. Man, fucking let me know. Like, take pictures of them and let me know, like, if they're, like, shit looking. Like, do you know what I mean? Because, like, some of my products on Spring, my designs go up and the design's great, but, like, the way it translates onto certain things like certain hoodies and stuff, like, the image is like off center, or like, just like certain things are a bit finicky. But like until I get in contact with someone, like I know there's a few bears that do t-shirts and stuff like that. Um, and there's like merch for bears and stuff like that. Like, so like I would like to kind of like try and build a business relationship with like some of the bears, um, in terms of like selling my merch and then giving a bear like a cut of like the profits and stuff. But like I said, I'm terrible at marketing, and I'm also terrible at networking. Um, Generally, what I do is I just do my thing, and then people come to me and they're like, "Oh, this would be a good idea," and I'm like, "Do you know what? You're right." Like, and then I go about it. I don't like. I spend so much time making stuff, and then just doing like other shit throughout the day, like doing shit in the house, like fucking chores and stuff like that. That I don't think to spend time like seeking people out for like business deals and shit. And part of me feels a bit dewy when I do it, you know? Like I like, or even think about doing it, Like the thought of promoting Painting Goo, you know, anywhere else other than the Legends chat and like, YouTube and shit like that. Like part of me has been like, oh, maybe I should drop it in the fucking, like I put it in the bear content group, and and it, like somebody just put a unicorn on it. I was like, well, some people don't like Painting Goo. Is who Sopgo in the UA chat? I'm not sure. Who's Sopgo? I don't know. And if your shell is destroyed, you get shell shocked for a bit. Brilliant. You see what I mean? It's just like, it's one of those teams that just has like a great amount of potential to it. Like, for those of you who missed today's phrase of the day, Miyano o Soketsu ni tamote kudasai, which means keep your bitches clean, is today's phrase of the day. And now we return to Painting Goo. Yeah, the flamethrower needs a bit of work. Just a wee bit. Painting Goo, 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 goo. Painting Goo, 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 goo. Painting Goo, goo. Just some random definition on certain parts, like, make it look like it's actually somewhat realistically engineered mechanically. I probably should also do a pipe connection coming out of this one. And, if the ice cannon gets one, the flame cannon gets one. I told the female about the god awful pun I made, where it was like, freeze or burn. Like, I actually love puns, like, like the puns that make you go, ugh. Welcome to Painting Goo. Puns that make you vomit. Like, oh fuck. Where's my other bitch? There we go. Where's the skinny bitch? Get this thin bitch sopping wet and beat the fuck out of her, and then use my royal rag to get rid of all the evidence. Right, where's my brack? Painting. Google. So, like, I've noticed actually that I've mentioned before that it would appear like I am like essentially shadow banned on most of my social media, Instagram, TikTok. Like I'm like locked into these um, digital gulags. Oh god, I need a sip. Oh, Poke Elf seems like Sopco. I don't know if he's on you on the unauthorized. Um, I don't even know if he like knows who Owen is and shit. Like paint. So I haven't a clue. I was cutting fabric for curtains for my bus living friend, and was AFK. You are forgiven for your AFKness. Uh, is that something you do often? Working with fabrics? Have you a bit of seamstress in you? Is that what you do when you're not doing core workouts? Make curtains and pillows and such? Painting goo goo goo. I want nice, uniform, straight lines on this ice cannon. Could you imagine like a fucking military general like walking into where the research and development lab, and they're like, General, would you like to check out our new ice cannon? And the first thing he says is, I want it to be prettier. Wasn't that another pun I made yesterday? It was like, I want this ice cannon to look really cool. Like, fucking hell. I feel like I'm wounding myself when I do that. Like, what's worse, a dad joke or a painting goo pun? Painting goo goo goo. I was quite happy with my monkey impression that worked on today's painting goo promotion. I just got the idea to do the voiceover like 4 or 5 minutes before I did it, and then did it. And I was like, shit, that actually sounded really good. Like, it's fucking like I want to get like a fucking like I almost like if I had the fucking money, I'd probably buy a monkey. Paint. paint. Ice cannon. Big cannon. Paint. Or brack. Squirt. Actual squirt. Not like squirt. There'll be none of that kind of squirting on painting goo. Ever. Squirt. Paint. Painting. Goo. Painting. Cannon. Paint. I'm waiting for the day where one of you gets caught in work singing along to Painting Goo, and someone's like, what are you, like, paint, what? Hey, never mind. You wouldn't understand. Like when Bravey Bear was like, he was on a bit, like, he listens in to Painting Goo sometimes. That was a running gag for a long time, where it was like, I will attempt to make this painting stream audibly satisfying. Like Sleep Deprived Bear doing audio files of a painting stream for people who just listen to Painting. You have never seen nor heard paint dry like this before. Painting. Google. Painting. Goo goo goo. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo goo. Goo goo. Part of me wants to like add on some parts to the ice cannon to make it look a bit cooler, but it's okay the way it is. Granted, it could be a water cannon for all you know, but maybe I should make it a bit more icy. Put some cubes in there or something. Yeah. Thank you, Antonio. Okay, will do. Excellent. Yeah, because like I'm always like, you know, I'm not a perfectionist or anything, but I take pride in my work to a degree that like I really do want the even when I'm working with spring, you know what I mean? I want you to get a hoodie or a mug or like a canvas print or anything and be satisfied with it. You know, I don't want like a thing where people are just buying my stuff because they like me and they want to support me. Like that's great and all, like, but I actually want you to buy shit because you want it. You know, because like that's what I want to give off is like, you know, I want to make shit that's cool enough or something. Like the second I mentioned I was making a tactical turtle T-shirt or some shit, like fucking 2acres, like yep, totally, like, me. I want one. That's the type of shit I want to make. Like every time I come out with something, I want people to be like, "Yes, give me that." Um, Sonia acts like she hates the puns I come up with, but I know she loves them, even if she won't admit it. You can see it when like you know that face that Big Bear makes when like there's a pun. He's like, "Oh," you know, like puns that make you go, "Oh." This they get that reaction out of you because like there's a part of you that knows it's funny, but it's like it's that kind of like, oh my god, that's like it's like whiskey tastes horrible. We all know this. Do you know what I mean? Like no matter how many fucking years it's been aged or whatever, like you have some whiskey and you're like, yeah, it's good whiskey, but it tastes foul. It tastes foul. But everybody knows a good whiskey when they taste it, you know? Puns are like that. You know, you're like, oh god, oh that was horrific. It was an excellent pun. Oh, I sew by hand and needlepoint. I sew everything with a needle, no machine. So each curtain will take me a couple of days. That's awesome. That's like kind of how I like working with art. Is like, you know, there's so many opportunities for me to do digital shit, and I know like I put my stuff into digital, you know, like to put it on a t-shirt or some shit like that. Like, but I will never ever stop doing analog stuff. Like, you know, like doing real shit with real paint and paper and like wood and shit like that. Like, sure, I'll transfer those images I've created using digital mediums and stuff like that onto various things. But like, the first thing that needs to happen for me is I need to physically create something physical that someone can actually, like an original on a canvas or even a sketch. Um, like I'll it's not that I don't hate digital art. Like some of it's fucking fantastic looking, and it still takes a good eye and skill to create most of it anyway. Like I know there's a lot of cheat shit that you can do, like, you know, fucking plugins and different programs that will do shit for you that, like, you know, basically make you out to be a better artist than you actually are. Um, but like, I just like even with the AI stuff coming out and all, like I'm just saying it's not gonna like everyone's freaking out, being like, "Oh, if you do AI art, like, you know, you're a fucking idiot and all this." Like, it's like To me, it's like the gun. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you can bitch and moan all day about people shooting each other not being honourable form of combat, but it exists and it happens all the time, and you just got to deal with it now. You know, so I see it the same. Like digital art, AI art, all that shit. Like it doesn't mean they're not creative people. It doesn't mean that they don't have paint in their soul. You know, but I'll always prefer analog. Paint. Flamethrower. Flame flinger. Let me get the angle on this bitch. Paint. There we go. I'm gonna make it look a bit more round. Paint. Paintingu, goo. I've experimented quite a bit now with like just doing color to create an image, and there's just something about black outlines, like, you know, drawing comic book style or cartoon style. There's something about black outlines that I just fucking love, you know. And there's an artist that I recently started following on Instagram, a female. She's fucking incredibly skilled, and she does these lovely watercolor and ink animal drawings. And she recently did a beetle, like a huge, like, you know, one of those like rhino beetle things, a beautiful green one. And she like includes like flowers and various like shapes and stuff like that to, like, you know, cover or segment the image. But like the way she creates them is like she'll just do a pencil drawing, you know, a rough pencil drawing or a sketch, and then we'll go over that with watercolor, and then we'll go in and pick out certain details and like outline that in black ink, you know, with fine liners and brushes and like fountain pens and stuff like that. Like, and then we'll just keep applying different shades of watercolor and then do highlights with like opaque white paint and all. Like, I fucking love that style. You get these like semi-realistic, semi-cartoon, like fantasy vibes off of stuff like that. Like, and I think that's kind of the style I want to stick with when I'm doing character design or monster design or stuff like that. I think I'll stick with, like, you know, black outlines and watercolor or gouache or some shit like that. Like, but then when it comes to my symmetrical designs, it's like, you know, you can do fucking anything with them because all it is an abstract symmetrical image. Like, audio is on point. Ah, excellent. I've fucked around with the settings a few times to see if I could get the laptop mic to pick up the gong, but it's not happening. Whatever way the thing is designed, it's just it's designed to like focus on picking up my voice and not like background noises and shit. I've tried like changing the settings in various ways. Stuff that I know fuck all about. Like, I know fuck all about all this like audio software and how it works and all this shit, like input and output. Like, I have very basic knowledge of stuff like that. From just like having to learn how to like hook up games consoles and fucking PC equipment and shit like that. Like, but it's just motivating me to get my hands on a fucking decent microphone. Paint. 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 Yeah, everything's just getting a black outline now. Make that shit pop like a bitch. Painting goo, goo goo. And I say that as I'm kind of running out of black paint. I'm not really. I'm running out of like a certain kind of black paint. Paint. But there's ways around it. I refuse to. I refuse to succumb to certain things where I'm like, part of me be like, oh shit, I'm running out of black gouache. I need more black gouache. But then the second thing that comes into my mind is like, no, you can work around this problem. You have other things that you can like make something pretty much the same, to the same level, like without having to buy more and all, like, and I've already like tested it out and shit, like, and I pretty much can't do it. It's just like the lazy part of me is like, oh, I just need to buy more. It's like, no, but you can make more, It's like, oh, I don't have the time to make this. Like, I have to do that. It's like, there's still a part of my brain that, like, tries to negatively prioritize things and is, like, kind of pessimistic. But I'm catching it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm at a stage now where, like, I hear it in my head and I'm like, shut up, you little bitch. Like... Yeah. Painting goo 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 goo. One of the reasons I like doing black outlines, particularly like when I'm painting something, is because there's just something so satisfying about painting uniform lines with a brush in jet black. I don't know what it is. Like, sure, like all other colours, you can paint uniform lines and stuff like that, but like, there's just something about outlining something accurately, or even inaccurately sometimes. Like, when you get like more organic looking shapes, depending on what you're trying to capture. Betty goo 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 goo. Paint. Paint. Goblin. Paint. 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 Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a fucking spyglass in this little prick's hands. That's what I'll do. Painting. Goo goo. Wait, where's my goblin green? But they will look super cool and insulate. I post pics of my work at the BTA app. Oh, I'll have to follow you on there if I don't already. Give you a like. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Paint. Paint. Right. So we'll do a few goblins on this boat. We shall. Do a few of them on it. Painting. Goo. A tiny squirt. Just a wee one. To get the goo flowing. Painting goo 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 goo. I have so many like fucking little project things going on at the moment that like I was thinking of maybe one episode a week of Painting Goo. I'll do a lot of random shit that I'm working on at the moment instead of doing a Painting Goo. Um, like I had that idea a while ago that I'd have a separate channel or just like not even a separate channel, like just like different episodes where instead of Painting Goo, I'd call it the Defender Den, and like we can like crowdsource ideas and like I'll design characters in front of you and stuff like that. And, like I don't know how that'll go if I get a lot of followers though, because like I can imagine people would fucking steal shit and all and do some weird stuff. So like that might be a thing where like it'd be like a members only fucking episode where like I show what I'm working on and stuff like that. Like, because as much as part of me doesn't care, it's like fuck it, I'll just do it. Like, I'll fucking care if something like really good gets like nicked off me. I'll fucking care then. So like I should be a bit more cautious about stuff like that. It's like when it comes to shit like that, I am a bit of a retard. Like, you know, I don't fucking care, you know, and then it'll happen. I'll be like, Jesus, people suck. You know, like I can still be quite naive, you know. Like, despite what I've learned about like just people, especially people on the fucking internet, like, you know, despite what I've learned, like I'm still so like trusting and naive in so many ways. How's them looking now? Oh, it looks a bit better, all right, yeah. I want it to actually look like, you know, water coming off the fucking bow and not just like a lot of random shite. Yeah, that looks a bit better there. It's funny, like I never thought I'd be into the whole like just painting in fucking general. Now look at me, you know, painting live on the internet, on the go, like fucking Bob Ross style. Never thought I'd be doing something like this. And like, if you look at the fucking painting goos, like when I started doing this, um, dear God, like I can only imagine what these things are going to look like in 10 years. Like as I get better at painting and like faster at doing random shit and all, like it's fucking some of these are probably going to look class. Like, oh, and yeah, I'm going to try and I'm getting them scanned, and there is going to be the book of painting goo. I think I'm going to call it volume, like instead of volume. The book of painting goo, volume 1. Oh, I can't wait. But I need to design a cover for it, and I want the cover to be badass. Because I think it'd be even funnier to have, like, a beautiful, you know, like, really, like one of my symmetricals or something, like, really clean, crisp, beautiful fucking imagery on the front of it, and it's like, painting goo, volume 1. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you open it, and it's just all these. Like, like, what the fuck is this? I don't know how many pages are going to be in it yet, but that's on its way as well in the coming weeks. Just have to get them scanned, and then I'll get them like printed off. And I don't know if I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna try and just get like the equipment and like bind them all myself, and then I'll like put up photos and shit and be like, right, who wants one? Like, or I might do pre-orders or something. I don't know. Like, I keep getting like business advice from people randomly. We're like, oh, you should do this, like, and you should do that and all, and pre-orders are a good thing. Or like even like the female, she's like, oh, it'd be cool if you did this. Paint. And a lot of the time, I find myself just thinking, like, I fucking can't right now. Paint. I have other shit to paint. Paint. Paint sale. Brack sale. Sir. Brack sir. Some words are genuinely hard to fucking, like, speak in Japu. Like, sir. Brack sir. Yeah. Not a little squirt is required. Black gouache is very absorbent. Which makes sense, you know? It's brack. Painting, goo. Okay. Those holes aren't brack enough. Painting, goo. Painting, goo. I haven't had a chance to look at that video that I think it was 3 Top airdropped in the PEINTEINGU chat about the boats and how they're designed and all. Thank you for putting that in there. I love stuff like that, just like random cool info. Like, that's the sort of gravy I'm really into, is just like, did you know? You know, like, that's the sort of gravy I fucking love. Because, like, there's so much to know. There's so much information out there in the realm. That the idea that you could possibly, like, you know, categorize it and work your way through all of it, like, seems insane and impossible to me. Like, do you know what I mean? But maybe it is. But I find that one of the best ways to just, like, learn overall and gradually is to just, like, absorb as much like, be like a child, be childlike, you know, just like get out of your comfort zone every so often and dip your head into places that you haven't been before and just be like, oh, look at this, and then, like, bring it back to center, you know. Like, well, you don't want to fucking do what I did, but probably many of us did for a while, which is, like, you just get stuck down rabbit holes, and then, like, for weeks at a time, you're, like, only thinking about certain things, you know, which can be good, you know, depending on the subject matter, to get, like, really down in the weeds. But, like, I've said that before, like, I don't like getting into the weeds on most things. I take a very broad spectrum analysis of the big picture, and then occasionally I'll, like, zoom in on something. But that's definitely the type of info that I'm really into. Like, I used to, do you ever watch that show, fucking, How It's Made? Or something like that? Like, I fucking love that shit. You know, where they show you, like, all these machines and, like, all the patterns of all the mechanics of how it works and shit. Like, have you ever seen how, like, gardening gloves are made? The ones with the latex outline on them and stuff? Like, the machines, like, fucking, like, weave this thing around a fucking, a mold, you know, the fabric, and that gives you the glove. And then they, like, put the gloves on, like, a fucking stand thing and dip them into this liquid latex shit and all, like, and then they, like, spray the number on or print it on or some shit, like, and it's all happening at, like, fucking 60 miles an hour. Like, these machines are just fucking, like, doing all this shit and all, like the engineering feats that mass production of things, like, has basically brought forth. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, well, how are we gonna make, like, 100,000 fucking gardening gloves in, like, a few days, like, do you know what I mean, and send them all over to all the Woody's DIY shops in Europe, like, do you know, it's like, or B&Q, or fucking, it's probably like Lowe's, or what's another fucking hardware store I've heard of, like, I don't know, you'd see them in Walmart. I know it's not a hardware store, but like Walmart's one of those things that it has everything, doesn't it? You could buy everything from a fucking boat to a shotgun in Walmart or some shit. That's what I've heard anyway. Painting goo 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 goo. Yeah, I said I don't know if I did say, but I definitely thought that I want to put laser cannons on this fucking Spanish galleon. That's just how I feel. You know, my intuition is telling me that this Spanish galleon that is being sailed. My mind was searching for, like, is it driven? Is it being driven? Flown? No. What the fuck? What does one do with a boat? Oh, you sail it. Yes. Spanish galleon that's being sailed by a bunch of goblins. Right, and then I'll let that dry, go back in there, and I'll give him a fucking spyglass. It needs laser cannons. I feel it in my heart. Feel it in my bones, so I do. Go back to what I was saying earlier, actually, about like doing different episodes and like calling it the Defender Den or some shit like that. I've had that idea for a while. It's actually what I was like. I've always wanted to be a streamer, but I wanted to stream video games. Like, that's what I wanted to do. Well, that's a lie. I haven't always wanted to be a streamer. I wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to be a fucking graphics designer, or like games designer, loads of different things. But in terms of doing stuff on the internet, paint, I wanted to stream video games because I was like, I still am very passionate about video games. I think they're fucking amazing. I think video games get a bad rap, but for obvious reasons. Like many things in today's society, it's people's behavior that's the problem. It's not actually the technology or the medium that's the problem. It's people's behavior around it and with it. Personally, like, video games have taught me things. Both like interesting things and like moral things and stuff. Just like any book could, you know? So too can video games. Certain gaming communities, just like, you know, any other form of community, can sometimes be all someone has in their life, you know? They live with like horrible parents, and like the only people they get to like really hang out with are like the people they play Pokemon with or some shit, like, you know? Now, saying all that, does that mean that I like wholly disagree with someone like Owen who's like, stop playing video games? No, I agree with him. In the sense that you should not be playing video games 8 hours a fucking day if it's not making you any fucking money, you know? And that is the position that I was in. I was playing video games fucking 8 hours a day and it wasn't benefiting me at all. Apart from, like, on a certain level, like keeping me sane, giving me something to do. Hey, ding, goo, 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 goo. That's one of the reasons I can't stop thinking about the tactical turtle thing, is because I would love to, like, eventually, like, you know, when I have the money or some shit like that, or have a bit more free time on my hands because, you know, I've made some consistent money for a while and I can afford to be like, oh, okay, I'll take the next 3 weeks off and dip my toe into this or something like. Uh, I think fucking getting into video game design would be fucking brilliant because like Vox makes video games. Vox is a game designer. Do you know what I mean? Um, and would probably tell you the same thing of like, I love games. Games are amazing. Should you be playing them for 8 hours a day and like fucking eating nothing but fucking Doritos? No, but that doesn't mean games aren't fucking amazing. Um, I'd fucking love to make my own video game. I thought about making like, you know, not that I thought about making it, but I thought about, I do that all the time. I just like make shit up in my head and think about it and design it and like run it through my mind and stuff like, taking full advantage of my vivid imagination. And I thought about making a video game about bears, you know, and instead of Minecraft, it was called Bearcraft, and it was essentially a cartoony fucking, you know, like Fortnite looking bear version of Minecraft, where like instead of being first person, it was third person, so you could see your bear, you could customize your bear, and like you create a bear community or a bear village, and then like learn how to like, you know, mine stuff and like deforest areas and like make a lumber mill, like, you know, like it'd be really fun for the people who just want to have fun in it because it'd have lots of mini games and activities and shit, but also be really educational because there would be realistic breakdowns of materials and resources, like uh maybe not Minecraft obviously because it's got mad shit like Nether Realm and all that stuff, but like there's games out there that are like something like, you know, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now because they're not really my cup of tea because they're so accurate. But like, there are plenty of games out there that are like real time world building, community building things where like they literally break down all the materials of like, right, you need to get a worker to go over to the forest and he needs a axe and like a saw. So like, you know, you're going to need this to create the axe and the saw, and you're going to need more wood to fucking, you know, power the furnaces, and like you start to get this whole like economy, like, and this fucking like engine of life, you know, building and stuff like. And I think it'd be great for kids to be like, instead of playing something like Fortnite, you know, they're attracted to like the cute, cuddly nature of it, the bright colors. But what it's actually getting them to do is like homestead, you know. So by the time that they're like fucking, say like Owen's Walter's age, he's like what, fucking 7, 9 or something now, like where they're like starting to do some uh young man stuff, or they're like, you know, cutting wood or like working with tools or some shit like that. They already kind of have a framework in their mind of how everything works. Now they're just doing it in the real world, like, you know. I think that would be like really beneficial for people trying to like leave Babylon, or like people who are still living in Babylon but want to raise their children with like, you know, good in like with good, true, and beautiful stuff. You could create a video game that like does that. You know, you could create a video game that like keeps your kids entertained and enthralled, but in a good educational way, so that like even if they were to spend 8 hours on it, it wouldn't be wholly detrimental. You know, I think a lot of what we have to face the reality of in this realm and during this lifetime is that like most of the time you just got to do the best you can do. The whole sense of like idealism and things being idyllic, you know, well, ideally you would have this. It's like, well, very rarely can you have the ideal scenario, you know. A lot of the time, most of the time, you have to just like bloom where you're planted and work with what you've got, you know. And in living like that, in working with what you've got and being resourceful and like, you know, resilient and all these things, imagine how effective you would be in an ideal scenario, because you're like used to like grinding along through scenarios that are not ideal, So then you get to a scenario that is ideal. So it would be insanely advantageous to somebody like you who's used to putting up with a load of, trial and tribulation and all this shit. Like, now everything just works for you. Imagine how quickly and efficiently you'd be able to do shit. Like, don't get me wrong, you'd probably get bored. Paint. Like, I find myself doing that. I'll like bitch and moan and like, oh, this fucking thing, and like, I'm tired and I'm sore and like, I have this to do and blah blah. But once I like talk it out of my head, I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like, it's important to speak your mind though, even if you're just talking to yourself. Because like, I don't know about you, but even when you're even when you're talking to yourself in quotes, pardon me, need a sip. Even when you're talking to yourself in quotes, um, are you actually just talking to yourself? Like, you're alone in the kitchen. There's nobody else in the house. You're just in the kitchen making a cup of tea and some toast, and you're talking to yourself out loud. I do this all the time. I like converse with myself and argue with myself. But is it actually just me? Or am I like talking to the witness and God and the demons all at the same time, and like the trinity that is us is coming to a conclusion? I don't fucking know. I've wondered that before. Like, what is you? What is I? Is it just one thing? Witnessing something, feeling something, thinking something? Or are you a collection of entities in a single vessel? I don't know. What do you think? Painting. Google. Painting. Google. Paint. Oh, burp. Oof. Painting. Google. Paint. I've gotten really comfortable doing that, like, and only in the last few weeks, where like I'll do something on a canvas or a bit of paper, and the paint will go off a bit, like like the brush stroke won't be like wholly accurate, and like I'll be like, "Fuck, I made a mistake," and I just fix it with my finger, and like, I used to like, I used to panic. I used to be like, "Oh fuck, I've made a mistake," and then like try and like really accurately, fix it with like a bit of tissue paper or some shit, like to try and just remove that bit of paint and stuff. Now I just like wipe it off and I'm like, oh fuck it, fix it later. Like, so funny, like, right. You know what time it is? It's time for some raving goo. Well, do we want raving goo, or will we stick with will we stick with Japanese? You be the judge. I will allow you to pick sea shanties, raving, or more epic Japanese taiko drums and shit. Um, yes, audio was great, and the focus is better on the painting today. Yeah, like fucking, I'm quite inconsistent in that regard. Like, sometimes I'll just sit here and talk for 2 hours just because I feel like it, because it's my stream. Fuck you. But then I'll feel bad, and then the next day I'm like, right, I need to paint. Like, I need to make a painting. People come to Painting Goo for a few reasons, but like, the main reason is to see something hilarious be constructed in a few hours or some shit like, and the music and like some of the funny shit I end up saying or some shit like, uh, and like some people like my rants and some people like myself, like I have gained a great benefit from hearing Owen over the years, like talk ad nauseum about various things. Um, some people need that. Some people need to just like listen to someone that they can relate to say some shit. And I've gotten messages off a few people now being like, "What you're doing is great," and like, "I really love what you're doing and your vibe and all that shit." Like, but yeah, I'll definitely admit that like I wouldn't want like, I think one stream every week or two where I just fucking sit here and like spew everything out of my mind and like don't paint at all nearly, um would probably be acceptable. Um, I'm playing Cities 2 right now. No crap. Teaches you how to design and make things beautiful. That's awesome. Like, that's why, like, there are video games out there that are very based, you know? They contain logos and they teach you things. And even though they're entertaining you and like you're sitting in front of a screen and you're interacting with a digital medium, it's like inspiring you, it's teaching you, it's like, soothing your mind in a sense, because like you're that sense of escapism where like all the stresses of your life are temporarily gone and you can just focus on a problem that you can do something about now, and then you can return to the real world more you know amicable. A poet once said, "I contain multitudes, but I forget which one." Yeah, like I have a feeling that like, you're not just you. And maybe it's only us like schizos or some shit. Like maybe only the schizos have like maybe you do have multiple personalities, but it's not a disorder, you know? I've said that before where it's like there's the angry me, there's the depressed me, the sad me, the happy me. Do you know what I mean? There's all these like different modes of me, and my behavior is distinctly different depending on the mode. But I'm still me, you know? But it does feel like each individual mode almost has its own micro personality, with its own opinions and views on things. Like I find myself like if I'm in a really, really bad mood, I'm like nihilistic, bitter, vengeful, all these things. If I'm in a really good mood, I'm like, I couldn't like. It's really hard to piss me off when I'm in a really good mood. Things just like slide off my back, like there's nothing wrong with me. Like water off a duck's back. Like I fucking uh, like I'm insanely enthusiastic when I'm in a good mood. Like I'm like, it's all gonna be good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I'm very changeable and I'm very like I can be quite erratic sometimes because in my mind I'm dealing with so much and like have so much internal conflict and shit. Right, that's 2 votes for Raving Goo. So here we go. Right. Where's my tunes? My tunes are here. There's my tunes.
Want to spend more time obsessing?
No, I don't want to spend more time obsessing about anything, you fuck. Now get away from me. Feels like I haven't played Raven Goo in a while. Is that the case? Am I wrong? Am I wronga? I know what's wronga. This bitch on my screen. Get your half-naked ass off my fucking screen, bitch. I don't care if you're advertising a beautiful beach or some shit. Right. Even the boat looks better now. Excellent. Right. A spyglass for the goblin. Inbound. Paint. 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 Yeah. Sip, sip. Paint. 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 Bit of brown. Tiny bit of brown. Get that golden look. Not that much golden. Shit. Way more yellow. There we go. Much better. Here come the wolves. Oh, you fucking pancake selling bitch! How dare you! If anything, that probably made the drop better. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Right, let's get some laser cannons on this ship, shall we? Like, there's a game that I'd love to fucking sit down and design is like a pirate ship game, battleship game, but like mix all the fucking eras together where like you have like cybernetics and like timber wood frames and hemp sails mixed with like jet turbines and stuff. Like, you know, you have like fucking 50 caliber grenade launcher, like automatic grenade launcher fucking turret things sitting on something that looks like a Spanish galleon. It'd just be so fucking cool. If you wish to support PEINTEINGU, link in description. If you wish to buy my merchandise, link also in description. Okay, so we'll put it facing this way. Right, that's one laser cannon. And then we'll put another one here. Yeah? Yeah, we'll put one here. Do it like... Just slap these fucking massive laser cannons. Just attach them to this ship. Paintingu. Goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Paintingu goo. Goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Paintingu. 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 Dick for you. Welcome to Paintingu. And wait for it. Pancake bitch. Drop the beat. Oh, hilarious. Paintingu. Mr. Fordson. Welcome. Launch razor beamers. Release the laser cannons. Like, that's the type of shit I'd love to do. Is like, you know, random shit. Like, release the laser hounds. You know, like, you just see a lot of robot dogs that when they bark, they fire lasers out of their mouth. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking mad shit, like, you know? It's my favourite stuff. That's why I fell in love with Rick and Morty, and then, like, one of the episodes, they promoted porn, and I was just like, fuck this, like. Ding, ding, goo, 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 goo. What's this? A foreign couple on my stream, eh? Fuck off, yay. Be gone, gay. Still waiting for my Ice Demon sticker. Can't wait to see it. Where it goes on the motorcycle. I hope it's like sticks to the motorcycle and stays on the motorcycle, and Spring's stickers aren't like pieces of shit. Oh. It's funny, like, do you want to see what the Ice Demon thing looked like when I originally designed it? Wait till you see this, like.
Yeah.
Oh. This is the drawing I did. That's the drawing I did. And then I painted that. Well, actually, like I outlined that and then transferred it to a canvas. And then I ended up with the Ice Demon thing from this. Like, it looked completely different. That's happened a few times with the symmetrical designs where I'm like, oh, I'll do this. And then, like, I start painting it. And it's kind of like what Chris Gardner was saying on Owen's thing, where it's like, that's happened to me a few times where, like, the art tells me what to do. like in a weird way. Like, you know, I don't hear a voice or anything, but I just get this, like, intuitive sense where it's like, I should do this. That would look cool, you know? And then I do it, and I'm like, yeah, that worked. It's fucking mad, like. It's an odd sensation when one seemingly interacts with the ether and the great unknown. Now, what color? That's a bit too dark. That should do it. Shade cannon. That'd be a fun weapon. A shade cannon that you can just, like, hurl insults at people. Monkey, get me my shade cannon. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Almost time for the lasers. I think I've done laser cannons since we did the flying gay horde submarines in Tanzania. That's one of my favourite painting goos so far, is the conflict in Tanzania, and it had the huge armada of laser beam flinging submarines coming over the mountain, and then just a Xenoboon monster yoke ripping the head off an elephant. Oh, that's seriously one of my favorite painting goos of all time. It's just that thing, like, just like with the elephant's head, like. It's a hilarious painting goo. These like red things coming off the fucking. It'll soon look like laser cannons, don't you worry. Need to make myself a fucking bright green. But first, we shall lay down some white. Give it that extra flair. Okay. These are, of course, pulse laser cannons, you know, so it's not going to be a continuous beam. It's more like a pew pew pew. Check alignment for weaponry. Trajectory must be at least semi-accurate, otherwise I will lose my shit. Painting goo, painting goo, painting goo, painting goo, painting goo. A painting goo. A painting goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo goo. Goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo goo. Times it. In a moment I shall reply to the female. The female is wondering if I shall be going over the 2-hour mark again today. Unfortunately, for you, I will not. What's this? An advertisement? Well, I'm not looking! You sneaky fuck! You coffee chocolate drinking bitch! Be gone from me. Alright, checking trajectory. Oh shit, where'd that come from? Okay. It reminds me I have to do the Jolly Roger hat on the fridge. I have to give him some eyes. What would be worse for war crimes, laser beams or razor beams? Probably razor beams. Like a laser would cauterize the wound and shit, and like if it didn't kill you, it would probably leave you like horribly wounded, but you wouldn't bleed out, and all these different kinds of things. Like, and like if it hit you like directly to the head, it'd just like vaporize your head. You probably wouldn't feel shit. Like, but a beam of razors, it'd be like being rapidly torn apart by like glass flying through the air or something. It would be very bloody, probably not very effective against armor, unless, you know, you increase the velocity of the projectile to like in excess of like Mach 3 or some shit. Like to get a razor blade to penetrate armor, like it weighs like less than a few grams and it's like wafer thin. You'd nearly need to fucking chuck that thing at the speed of a railgun or some shit to use it against armor. But against like infantry, light armored infantry or unarmored infantry, you could like probably rip a dude apart fairly handily with something like that. That'd more than likely be against the Geneva Convention. Fucking like high powered like pressure cannon that just flings hundreds of like tiny razor blades at people. Sounds like the type of weapon that would be made by a very, like, you know, disturbed individual. I hate them all. Right, some laser beam green. I'm going to quickly reply to the female. Razor beams followed by a squeeze of lemon juice. Death worse. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. It's like, release the razor blades. What now, sir? Release the lemon juice. It's like simultaneously the gayest and most violently painful and grotesque battle in human history. Really fucking hilarious. Okay. Do 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 do. Where's that? There we go. Do 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 do. Painting, goo 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 goo. Right. I got about 15 minutes left, 17 minutes left. Plenty of time to do laser beams. Bit more yellow. And then an absolute fuck ton of white. I was envisioning something silly like a giant tungsten katana blade fired from a railgun or something. Well, of course, I came up with something way more horrible. Like, and sophisticated. There's a lot of grass here, actually. Yeah, fucking. No, I'll put down a layer of yellow first, and then put green over it, like I did in the original one. The original one, in the other one. I'll put down a layer of yellow, and then go over it with green, and that should give me the effect I want. Good.
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company about to
Well,
use
fuck
Grammarly
you,
to meet a tight
Dave.
deadline.
Who the fuck asked you? I Contain Multitudes is a line in a Walt Whitman poem. I've heard that name. Which, when he published it, was deemed trashy and obscene, according to the article I read. People still quote it all the time, though. That's interesting. I wonder why he was... Well, probably because it's in reference to, like... Well, not a reference. It sounds like I Am Legion. I contain multitudes. Paint. I can imagine the church at the time were like, demon! He is speaking of demons! But, like, I get where he's coming from, you know? But is that because I'm riddled with demons? I don't fucking know. I mean, everybody's got demons. And I'm not of the opinion that you can get rid of the fuckers. I think they're always going to be there. And don't get me wrong, I could be wrong on that, you know? Maybe you can totally expel demonic forces from at least your vessel, you know? But, like, I believe in harmony and shit, like, and the balance. So, like, you know, like the line of good and evil travels down every man's heart. Like, I think that's true, and I think that we have a demonic polarity and an angelic polarity within us. And based on our choices, we lean towards one or the other, you know? That's basically how I think it works. All right. Well, I might go on till half then. A moment while I converse with the female. I might just keep going till half. They are incredibly handy things, these laptops. Being able to just have multiple windows up and do various tasks all at the same time. Okie dokie. What was I? Oh, yes. I suppose I should put other goblins in there instead of just one goblin up in the crow's nest. All on his lonesome. Tackling the big fridge all alone. Brave little shit. Yeah, like I could try and put one here. And then try and put a what you call it? What are they called again? The helm? The helm? Big steering wheel? Or I could, do you know what I'll do? I'll put like a fucking, because we have the laser cannons, I'll put like a control panel in front of them or some shit like. Various buttons and such. And then maybe we can I'm gonna do another goblin vomiting over the side.
Yeah, are you ready? I'm gonna press it.
Are you ready
Here you
to
go.
get the fuck away from me, you obscene cunt? What is the goblin vomiting? Probably coins. Probably coins. Painting goo 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 goo. Yeah, well, that didn't work, did it? Oh. I just stick with yellow blasters. Have fucking luminous green somewhere. No, not the rudder, the helm. Doesn't the helm control the rudder? You know, isn't that the helm? Take the helm! You know? It's interesting you came to that assumption about demons and choices. I was wondering if we're assigned demons like we're assigned angels and it's up to us which one we side with. Yeah, like that would make sense to me. Like, you know, the whole angel on one side, demon on the other, and we're given free will. You know, the creator puts forth the parameters of existence and then hands you free will to be like, all right, play the game, you know? The goblins just want the produce in the fridge. Probably. Little shits. See a giant fridge attacking an island and they're like, oh my god, so much stuff to steal. Oh. I'm gonna need to start doing stretches after I do painting goo. My fucking right hip keeps locking up. Like, not every time I do painting goo, but like sometimes. Here, like here. Hello? Hello? That fridge just wants to play in the field. It's like wanton destruction with a giant flamethrower and ice cannon. It's like, I just want someone to be my friend. That reminds me, actually, I need to put details on his mustache. Painting Goku. Painting Goku. Paintingu. Darn telemarketers. I've got an outline going on those cannons. Sip, sip. Oh. Oh. Starting to get those cravings. Need a cigarette. Paintingu. No, I don't. I don't need a cigarette. I want a cigarette. Not the same thing. Paintingu. How dare you repeatedly interrupt my stream, you vagrant! The cigarette wants you to suck on it, deny its gayness. Shame! Shame me into quitting the nicotine. Paintingu goo 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 goo. Must keep the bitch wet. The Spanish galleon is now much more interesting than it was. Smoking leads to rollerblades. Well, it's been 17 years and I haven't grown any rollerblades yet, so don't believe that one. Unless they're like microscopic rollerblades. Owen's going live at 2 today. Is it always 2? Is it 2 p.m. or 3 p.m.? I don't remember. Paint. Turn on the machine. Oh, how dare you! Must you interrupt every single bit of the fucking song that I really like with your... Ugh, your filthy face has been riddled with poison. Good God. Why would you advertise such a thing? Metaphorical rollerblades. Rollerblades of the soul. Solar blades. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Metaphorical rollerblades. Rollerblades of the soul. Solar blade. Oh, that's so funny. 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Yeah, like that's what I used to try and catch Owen, but like he's on at 10 o'clock here, 10 o'clock at night, and like I should be in bed by 10. Quite often I'm not, but I'm doing something else, like, you know, but I try to be in bed by 10. So I never catch him live, ever. And some of the fucking bears are always like bitching at me that I'm not in the saloon and stuff, like I can't be, like, it would be so irresponsible of me to like fucking stay up late just to be in the chat, like, you know. Fridays I get to do it sometimes. I get to do it like sometimes on a Friday. I'll be in the chat. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting cannons. Painting goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. I am actually going to put like big chunks of ice in the ice cannon beam to make it look more like ice and not water. That's a bit better. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh. Right, I know I said I'd go till half, but my right ass cheek is gone numb, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed today's painting goo. I sure did do. So, ladies and gentlemen, bears, bearettes, niggers, niggerettes, today's painting goo has concluded. And even when I'm leaving, you must interrupt me. How dare you? Anyway, if you would like to support Painting Goo, link in description. If you would like to buy my merchandise, link also in description. Until tomorrow, be good, be true, and be beautiful. I will hear same time, same place, same high-octane painting energy. Until then, God bless you, and have a good day. No half-assing here. Oh, man. Shut up, you funny fucker, you. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. No half-assing.